lot of celebrities seem to die at the age of 27, which is freaky, and which is why the 27 Club started. It's full of celebrities who sadly passed away too soon at the age of 27. From Kurt Cobain to Amy Winehouse, let's talk about these celebs and more only in today's video. Starting off this countdown, we have Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain was a singer-songwriter for Nirvana. Sadly, he had an ongoing struggle with addiction and depression. As a result, he tried to take his life a number of times. He finally managed to do so in 1994. After skipping out of a Los Angeles rehab facility where he was trying to get over his addiction, he flew home to Seattle and shot himself in the head. He died on April 5th of 1994. His last words were found in his final note. In the note, he quoted Neil Young's lyrics and said, "It's better to burn out than fade away." Moving on at number 9, we have Jim Morrison. Jim Morrison was the vocalist of the legendary rock band The Doors. In fact, he is said to be one of the most iconic people in rock and roll history. In July of 1971, Jim was in Paris with Pamela Courson, his partner at the time. On July 3rd, 1971, Pamela found him dead in the bathtub. The cause of death was said to be heart failure, but an autopsy was never performed on him. That's because they were in French territory and the French police found no evidence of foul play, so no autopsy was done. So it means his cause of death could have been something else entirely. In fact, Pamela thinks he died from a heroin overdose since he inhaled it thinking it was coke. Whereas Marianne Faithfull thinks her boyfriend killed him, making it murder. That's why there's so many conspiracies surrounding his death. And honestly, we might never know his real cause of death. In our 8th spot today, we have Janis Joplin. Janis Joplin is said to be one of rock's biggest pioneers. She had some pretty iconic songs like Cry Baby and Piece of My Heart. And she was another artist with such a unique voice. Sadly, on October 4th, 1970, Janis was found dead of a suspected heroin overdose in her Hollywood hotel room. She was found after failing to show for a scheduled recording session. Now, there were efforts made to get her into rehab, but sadly, there wasn't much success there. When she was found, she apparently was clutching her cigarettes in one hand and her money in the other. In our 7th spot, we have Robert Johnson. Now, there's a wild legend surrounding legendary blues singer Robert Johnson. It's said that he sold his soul to the devil at a local crossroads to become successful. I guess the only catch was he was going to die early on in life. On August 16th, 1938, he mysteriously passed away. Now, I say mysteriously because there's no official cause of death. His death was not reported publicly, and then 30 years later, a man named Gail Dean Wardlow, who was a musicologist, decided to look into his death. That's when he found his death certificate, but it only had a date and location, no official cause of death. Now, some say he died after drinking whiskey laced with strychnine, which is a very, very strong poison, and only a small amount is needed to kill or wound someone. Others say he died from pneumonia. In our 6th spot today, we have Brian Jones. Born in 1942, Brian Jones is the original founder and leader of the Rolling Stones. He was the one that apparently formed the band and named it, and even chose the members of the band and what music they played. So he had a huge impact on this band. Bassist Bill Wyman said, and I quote, "He got us gigs, he was very influential, very important, and then slowly lost it, and just kind of wasted it and blew it all away." Eventually, Jones started to turn to alcohol and drugs, which led him to have nasty mood swings and developing depression. On July 3rd of 1969, he was found at the bottom of his swimming pool. Apparently, his cause of death was by misadventure, so maybe he was very drunk or very high and stumbled into his pool and wasn't able to get back out. Others, on the other hand, believe that he was murdered. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with Anton Yelchin. Anton Yelchin was an American actor. You might recognize him from the Star Trek movie series or from the movie Green Room. Either way, he was a great actor gone far too soon. And the way he left this world was quite dramatic. So on June 19th, 2016, he got out of his Jeep while in his driveway of his house when the car rolled backwards, hitting him against a brick pillar and his fence. By the time his friend found him, he had already passed away. He died from blunt traumatic asphyxia. In our 4th spot today, we have Thuy Trang. Thuy Trang was a Vietnamese-American actress known for her role as the Yellow Power Ranger in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. After that, she went on to star in The Crow, City of Angels, and Spy Hard. It would have been nice to see what else her career had for her. Sadly, on September 3rd, 2001, while on her way to her friend's wedding, in which she was a bridesmaid, the driver lost control of the car. It swerved off the road and crashed into a rock face. She died shortly after the crash. In our third spot today, we have Aaron Hernandez. Aaron Hernandez was an American football player in the NFL for 3 seasons. However, in 2013, he was arrested for the death of his friend, Odin Lloyd. In the end, he was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison without parole. On April 19, 2017, while in jail, Hernandez took his own life. But before doing so, he apparently cut his finger and wrote John 3:16 on the wall with his own blood. He also wrote it on his forehead as well. Now, John 3:16 said that God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall never die but have eternal life. Not only that, but another report said that he drew an unfinished pyramid with the all-seeing eye on the wall as well. So, it's a little creepy. I don't know why he did that. It's open to interpretation. Maybe he was a part of the Illuminati. In our second spot, we have Amy Winehouse. Born in 1983, Amy Winehouse was another very talented musician. Her voice was incredible. It was so unique and raw. But Amy sadly suffered from drug and alcohol addiction. On July 23, 2011, Amy passed away from accidental alcohol poisoning, which took many by surprise because they thought that she had kicked the habit and she was turning her life around. Her body was found by her bodyguard. The bodyguard found her laying in the same position as she was a couple hours prior, so when he checked on her, that's when he knew that she had gone. And in our number 1 spot today, we have Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix will be remembered as one of the greatest guitarists of all time. Sadly, he also struggled with alcohol and abuse. On September 18, 1970, Jimi mixed alcohol with several other types of narcotics, which he had done before and he had lived. But this day, he mixed alcohol with sleeping pills, and he took way too many. Apparently, he took 9. As a result, he passed out, but not before vomiting. He ended up choking on his own vomit and sadly died. His death was ruled accidental. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. I know it's a pretty depressing video, but let me know in the comments below who your favorite celebrity or musician is. Let me know. With that being said, let's move on to our comment shoutout portion. I'll be shouting out comments from the video top 10 celebrities who are banned on TikTok. Mary Beth commented, okay, I was about to say, how in the hot ham and cheese does someone ban Dolly freaking Parton? I'm glad the fake account was banned before it could hurt her good name. Exactly. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, Dolly Parton, like, what did she do? I don't know. She's just incredible. She's a good spirit. She has a good spirit. Amanda Marshall commented, I really like the animal videos, especially dogs and cows, of course. I love that you threw in cows because you guys know that I love cows. I think I had this little thing in the back of my other video. Someone sent this to me, so thank you. I love it. It's like a knitted cow plushie. They're my favorite animals, if you didn't know. Now you know. And Sheila Bialkowski commented, TikTok does show some gruesome stuff, which is why I'm confused because there's some girls getting banned from doing a video in their tank tops, but then there's girls doing full videos in their bikinis and like jumping up and down and revealing themselves. Guys can go shirtless, but then other guys are getting banned by going shirtless. Like, I'm confused. Like, where, like, TikTok, what's good and what's bad? And yeah, I've seen some pretty gruesome stuff on TikTok too. So, what's going on? Okay? Their flagging system is all over the place. It's completely whack. I think my TikTok account has been shadow banned, and I don't know why. Alright guys, that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye!